Very good evening, everyone. Tonight we're finishing Spider-Man. Just before this stream, I had a bit of a practice run. And what I did is I connected my DualShock, which works fine on Windows XP because it has direct input, so everything works okay. No need for any additional programs and stuff like that. Whereas Xbox controllers, which uses X input, not D input, doesn't work as well. I also reduced the resolution to speed the game up. If you've watched any of the other streams, you'll know that some of the levels have issues. If the frame rate is too high, you can't complete the mission, you can't complete the game. But it seems like on the last mission that's not an issue. So I played through and I tried twice. On the second attempt, I beat the final mission. And I got to the final cutscene and the game crashed. So we'll see how we go this time around. But we are finishing this game tonight.
This place is gonna blow. I gotta get out of here.
So running the game at a lower resolution speeds up the game. In fact, it runs it at its internal resolution. Its frame rate cap, actually, which is 30 frames per second.
Zip line up quickly.
And if you run it at too high a resolution, it runs at 20 frames per second. But that's actually necessary for some of these levels. This one, however, is not one of those levels. So we can lower the resolution, let it run at 30 frames per second, and try and defeat this game. I noticed also that regardless of how much distance you can, you'll always be caught up by the chaser. He'll always kind of rubber band his way closer to you. So you just basically have to keep a fairly good distance away. And just not get trapped on walls.
This thing's unstoppable.
And just run for your life. So it doesn't really matter if you swing or not, because basically you'll always keep a distance away from him, unless you basically stuff up, which is what I'm kind of prone to doing. There we go, getting trapped on another wall.
Stay away from me.
So you see how much distance we are from him, and straight away he'll jump.
Getting closer to the surface.
We've got 2 more levels to do.
Level 3. 2 more to go.
As Spider-Man just tells us. Oop, let's not run into the wall.
Pressure's really building. I can't shake him.
Okay. Pressure's really building.
He's breathing
You're
down my
telling
neck.
me.
Back off. There.
Oop. It's not stuck on the walls. Okay, he's kind of catching up. Again. Oh. Okay. I think this might be the end.
Level 1. On the home stretch, baby. I think I might make it.
No. Okay, I think this is... It is. Okay, so last time I played, it actually crashed right now.
No, Ock. After all that, it was the symbiote that saved Ock.
Okay.
Gotta be kidding.
It looks like we may have
Perfect end to a perfect day.
almost spoke too soon, but I think that was just a CD skip.
It's a good thing Black Cat gave me a call.
You can hear the CD spinning up. And you probably say to yourself, well, you've beaten the game. Why aren't you more enthusiastic? Well, I was enthusiastic and then the game crashed. So let's just see.
Punisher, do you have any threes?
Go fish. So, nice of you to join
Nice
us for
hand
once,
animations.
Spidey.
Oh, I'm sorry. I was out saving the world. Beating you guys at cards ought to be pretty easy.
Your spider sense won't save you here. Look who's talking, Daredevil. You've been looking at my cards all night. I don't need to look at your cards, Punisher. Your bluffs are so obvious.
Okay. Let's keep this a nice, friendly, clean game.
Who keeps inviting this guy?
Hey, will you guys keep it down?
Hey, loosen up, kids! I'm on fire!
Wait, hold on. Time out. All of you guys were working together, and you still couldn't take down Spider-Man?
It's not my fault. Doc Ock's plan was horrible. Everyone knows you can't control
I like the
symbiotes.
swimsuit babe there at the back with the Mysterio hat.
I'm a rhino, you're a scorpion, and he's an octopus. What's a Mysterio?
So, Rhino, you got any threes?
Hey! Hey, I got a bingo! Ha ha! You guys think you're so smart, but I won! Ha! Who's your daddy, Doc Ock? Ha ha ha! Victory is mine! You're always laughing at me, but who's crying now, huh? Ha 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 ha! Wait a minute, I made a mistake.
And that, ladies and gentlemen and friends, and everyone else, is the end of the game. We did it. Thoughts? I've said this before. That game was pretty painful. And I can't help but think a lot of it was due to the actual port of the game, the PC port itself. It seems like if you played this on PlayStation 1 or Dreamcast or N64, you'd probably have a lot of fun with it. But because this version of the game is so buggy and so broken in parts, it really detracts from the game and the gameplay and the enjoyment that you can have. Because, for instance, some of the levels, as I mentioned before, and I've made a little video of this, it's in one of the streams. If the game is running too fast, you will always fail the mission. But the problem with that is then when you get to the next mission, you leave the game on that slower speed, which then makes the game so much harder in every other perspective. Then you get to another mission, the Mysterio fight, for instance, and the second phase of it, when you're shooting lasers at you, if the frame rate is too high, again, the lasers will go crazy and you can't avoid them. So you have to slow it down. Again, you have to lower the frame rate. And when you get to the final boss, if the frame rate is too low, it makes it infinitely more difficult. And so you think to yourself, I would enjoy this game if it was consistently playable, but it's not. So I really can't recommend playing this game, at least in the PC incarnation. Sure, the graphics are better, it's sharper, higher resolution. Everything else, though, suffers. And probably the most painful of all would be the keyboard controls. And as I say, I did plug in my... Where's my camera? My DualShock. And it made a big difference. I was able to actually control the character without... And even then, you saw that I was running into walls and the like. So, glad I played it. Glad I finished it. Another game I can put back on the shelf. That being said, though, not one you want to play on PC. So, disappointing in that regard, but an interesting game nonetheless. A fun game in parts. And there you go, it just crashed again. That's not normal. So let's take the game. Let's put the game back in its case. There it is. And let's flick it over our heads. Put it to one side. So we finished Spider-Man and we're only 20 minutes into the stream. So what can we do now? Well, just having a look at my pile. Let's try. Let's not try that because the CD isn't in the case. Let's have a look. I honestly didn't think I would beat the game that quickly because I struggled so much in the previous streams. So we can remove the, where are we? We might just have a look if this game actually works. Okay. So I know nothing about this game that I'm trying now. The cover looks like it's not the original cover. It does say it's rated G8, which is low-level animated violence. That's an Australian rating system. But this game's called Hired Team Trial Gold. It's by New Media Generation. And other than that, I don't know a lot about it at all. But let's just see if I can quickly change up stream. Okay. Does look like it's a Russian game because New Media Generation on the cover says nmg.ru, which is obviously Russia. Okay. Let's just have a look. We might be able to find a manual. I do know do notice it's called Trial, but it's not a trial as such. It does say their second trial. Okay, so this is a 2000 game. Let's just tidy this up a bit. Okay. And let's put this here. And the only cover I could find, you can see it says Hired Team Trial Gold Esther Klein version. My German, or I think that might be Dutch, is not so good. So I don't really know what that means, but let's see how it goes. Okay. This might be the case though. You can play it in single player, but it does actually talk about dedicated servers. I think this might be a third-person shooter, and it might be designed for, or first-person shooter, sorry. It might be designed for, okay, a lot of options. That's good. For more of a multiplayer bent. But let's see how we go. Ask me later. So far, so good. Let's go to Direct 3D instead and see how that shows up. Let's just unblock it. Awesome. That's probably why you should... Okay, nothing showed up there. Probably why you should test games before you start playing them on stream. And it doesn't want to load at all. Okay, well, that means we're not going to play Hired Team Trial Gold. At least now we're not. We're going to try something else. I will fire up a Pentium 1 in next stream, and I'll give that a game a go. But for now, we might just have to remove our cover image and our game, because I do not believe I have any information about this setup. This is Sherlock Holmes, The Awakened. Recently, I believe they created a remastered version of this, but this is the original version. And I noticed, very interestingly, it's in French. Let's just have a look. While we're waiting for it to install, we might just have a look at the manual, if it's there. There wasn't one in the small box case. This is a value version / remake, repackaging. But let's see how we go here. And I forgot how badly multitasking on a DVD or CD was. But let's just have a look. Okay, and this is what kind of interested me in this game. You notice there it's got the introduction. Is something wrong, Holmes? You're not even listening to me? Boredom, my dear Watson, boredom. Come on, Holmes, it's only a passing phase. You know full well that sooner or later something extraordinary will happen in or around London, and that your prodigious talent will be needed to bring it to a happy conclusion, while at the same time satisfying your need for some intellectual gymnastics. Sherlock Holmes and Dr. Watson in Baker Street. So it talks about a new case, but just here at the bottom, this is what interested me. The next stage of the investigation and the discovery of macabre signs quickly showed that behind this mysterious organization, a strange, disturbing sect was hiding, which worshipped the god Cthulhu and operated on the edge of reason. Now, to me, that sounds pretty intriguing. Sherlock Holmes games based on the H.P. Lovecraft Cthulhu mythos. That sounds like it might be fun. So while we're waiting for it to load, let's just have a look. Here are some, obviously, system specs. Windows 2000 or XP, check, we have XP. Pentium 3 or higher, check. 512 meg of RAM, check. DirectX 9 compatible, we also have that. And we have 3 GB free of RAM. I noticed the recommended and minimum configuration only differ by the CPU speed. Those were the good old days. So we don't have to read it through installation. We're doing that now. We kind of know how that works. But let's just have a look. Go into video options to reduce quality. Okay. New game, save game. Fairly self-explanatory. Some options. But let's have a look at the game commands. You control a great detective or his friend, Dr. Watson, using your mouse. Okay. You orient yourself in space by turning the mouse. Pressing and holding the left mouse button, you walk forwards. Double-clicking, you run. To interact, click on left, access your portfolio, right click, inventory, right click. You can also use keyboard. Okay, so you can, I'm not sure why you'd want to move around with your mouse when you could use keys. Probably better to use your keys, but I, D, T, and C. Okay, keep those in mind. And then some different cursors. Okay, so it's contextual. It'll change as we see things. And then maybe this is going into spoilers. We'll just check. No. And there's quizzes. My favorite. Looking forward to that and some brain teasers. Chemical analyzer. The first 10 minutes of the game. Okay, so this is basically a walkthrough. So let's not do that. I think we'd rather see for ourselves what's going to happen. Yes, this is probably one of the small little hiccups when it comes to these kind of games. And the fact that I didn't know I was going to be beating Spider-Man so quickly, we just have to install a new game. And unfortunately, it's not the quickest kind of procedure in the world. These things happen. So hopefully everyone's doing well out there. In case you didn't know, my name was Inconsiderate Deed, Australia's 37,491st most favourite streamer. Mostly play on real hardware, Windows XP, and earlier era Windows games. We'll be starting up some DOS games in a couple of weeks and going through my DOS library as well. So if you're interested in that, by all means, drop a follow. And yeah, we can see some DOS games on some Pentium 1 hardware with some Sound Blaster, old graphics card as well. And it'll be just like playing in DOSBox, but on a real computer. So we're just waiting for this to start. Just going to check if there's anything else that I need to keep in mind for this game. Okay, so it says if we've got a gig of RAM, we can use high settings, and recommended if you use Radeon Pro or higher. That's good. Some issues with some earlier, and maybe what we can do as well is while we're here and while we're waiting for this to happen, probably not great to use too much of the CD, but let's go into that Activision directory. Cool, I will copy out my save game just in case I ever feel like I'm going to play this game again. I really don't think I will, but you never know. And let's go into that uninstall directory. And with a great sense of sadness, but also a large modicum of relief, let's uninstall Spider-Man. Do we need to copy this configuration file? Maybe we'll copy that as well, just in case. We'll just, would help if I put it in the right spot. Okay. And I keep forgetting where delete is on this Windows XP. We say farewell to Spider-Man. Very sad. And let's put those files there. Okay. I did try some of these games, but they do seem a little bit broken in parts. So we might just stick to the games we have on CD. After all, I've got such a backlog of games on CD and DVD that to play other games might be enjoyable and fun, but that's not what this stream is all about. This stream is all about getting through the backlog. And sometimes you hit on a winner, and sometimes you hit on a bit of a stinker, but there's only one way we can find that out, and that's by giving the games a play. Okay, so it's got physics in it, and hopefully we're almost there. Shouldn't take too much longer, but sometimes, copying from a CD or DVD. How big is it? It's only, oh, it is 1.7 gig. Not huge, but no real way of telling. Task Manager doesn't give us that much information on Windows XP. You know, in later versions of Windows, you had the ability to, you know, see what was going on. I guess we do, in a sense. We've got, where are we? In performance, we can kind of see, but then we have to kind of add them. You have to add the appropriate counter. I guess we could do that. Probably take us just as long as. Okay, where are we? Physical disk. No, that doesn't do CD-ROMs. Okay. Actually, we could see how much it's writing. And, oh, would help if I pressed add instead of. So we could do write, and that should tell us how much. I'm assuming that's in. What's that? I'm not sure what the, is that megabytes per second? Megabits per second? Maybe one of the two. Okay, so you can see this is just a spinning Rust hard drive. Not very fast. What is it actually? Hitachi. $80 gig hard drive. Oh, well, 72. Not great. Yeah, 74. Oh no, it is 80 gig, but obviously with 1024 to 1000 conversion, you never get 80. We might be almost there. Yes, great, fantastic. Sorry about all that jibber jabber, but it's better than watching a progress bar go across. No, I already have that. I'm not sure if I have DirectX 9C installed. I'm assuming I do. If so, it'll just detect that. I should have kept that open just in case we needed that walkthrough for the first 10 minutes, but we'll see. And let's change. Okay. Just changing the title. I can spell awakened. And that should be done now. Great. Okay. Let's see what we have in store. Did I click it? Or did it just make a noise that indicated that we ticked it? It makes a noise, but it doesn't seem to do anything else. Okay. If this just opens that menu, I'll be very upset. No, great. Okay, it looks like the menu is not linked correctly. Okay, so first things first, let's have a look at the options. We probably could bump that up a bit. Let's put on VSync. Let's just put everything on max and see what happens. I mean, what's the worst that can happen? He says, knowing that Spider-Man broke every other minute. Just turn that down a little bit. We'll leave subtitles on. Mouse sensitivity. What do we got? Oh, of course. It's not one of those games. Okay, let's fire it up again. Okay, let's see how we go.
Go away, you swine! Leave, or I'll make you bleed!
These all came from the swamps. Could be toting contraband.
Help me! Do not fight the calling!
Blood!
I beg of you, Holmes, today! Relieve your blood! Oh, no. No, it can't be. It can't end like this. Again, this nightmare haunts me. It won't let me forget. How did this happen again?
So we're off to a good start. We've got no lip syncing, so the mouths don't move, but also that the subtitles don't match what he's actually saying. So I think that's good signs. I think you'll all agree. Two years ago, London, 6th of September, 1894. We are seeing the Golden Lion quite a few times. It's an interesting suitcase. And here we are, 221B. The main man.
Good morning, Holmes. Looks like a typical London day. Fog in the morning, fog in the afternoon. Ah, and here's a surprise, fog in the evening.
Good morning, Watson.
Can you imagine? I have been at it since 5 a.m. and I scarcely think my list of patients for the day has even been touched. What is more insufferable...
Why is he talking about his day and evening? And Sherlock says good morning.
Will assuredly... Holmes, whatever is the matter? You haven't heard a word I have said.
It is the tedium, my dear Watson.
Oh, we've got
Life
lips.
is ordinary. The papers are lifeless. Any hint of audacity...
And very scary looking hands.
...vanish from the criminal world.
Holmes, it is only temporary. You know perfectly well that sooner or later an exceptional...
What's he eating there?
...in London or thereabout,
Looks like a two-dimensional
till the talents
egg?
of Sherlock Holmes are called
Omelette?
into play.
Is that broccoli?
Then it will be up to your
Celery?
agile wit to set things right, which should satisfy your constant need for mental gymnastics.
I hope the heavens hear your words, Watson. I hope they do indeed.
I must take my leave, Holmes. I have
No,
an appointment
he hasn't
with
actually
rather
touched any of it.
odious
It's the same amount of 2D texture on that player as before.
He's apparently in a state with near tachycardia.
And that fork looks more like a prom.
Manservant. Why don't you get out for a brisk walk, Holmes? Perhaps buy a newspaper or visit that fellow, Barnes, over on Glentworth Street. You might remember him, the bookseller. He has some new volumes of the particular sort that should occupy your mind for a time.
Okay, looks like we have control. We do. It seems a little bit laggy, so I might just drop the resolution just a tad. Hopefully it doesn't want to restart the game. Of course it does. Okay. So we can use the arrow keys to move around. There's nothing there that we can kind of interact with. Wait a minute. How about this guy? No. Okay. Some very kind of one-dimensional little books. And how about his pipe? No? Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so I can press the right button and I'll see. Okay, so what do we need to do? Go for a brisk walk, buy a newspaper, assuming that's what we need to do. Watson was the person in the intro having that nightmare. We've got a knife. Nothing there. Nothing there. And a map. Okay. Can I... So I'm thinking that if there's something I can interact with, it's going to... Well, I can click, but it kind of just does a weird jumpy move. So obviously none of this is important. Oh, I got something. And it didn't seem to have an icon or anything. So I'm going to have to be mindful of just trying to grab everything. Let's just see. I got a box of matches. Okay. Can I play the fiddle?
I have no reason to go there.
Okay, so I'm assuming that's bathroom. And none of that is accessible. Okay. Get an umbrella. Right, mustn't be raining. Okay, so there's the icon. So we'll look for that. And it stays there. Okay, plant plots, kind of pointless. Okay, so you hold down the mouse button, it will move in the direction as well. Okay, nothing there. Okay.
The Strand! The Strand! Buy the Strand!
How can I buy it if I don't have any coins?
Strand! Strand! Buy the Strand!
So, my young friend, what is the news?
Well, it says on the board there.
The great detective, sir. Those old stuffed shirts ate up half of London at their big scientifical to-do, and some Scandinavia princess is driving the locals wild with curiosity.
A Scandinavian royal is in London? If you and the lads can look sharp and find out more about her visit, there will be some coin for your pockets.
Righto, Mr. Holmes. If there's aught to be found, the irregulars will have it. I'll send the words out to the lads.
I'm glad we switched off that view because that kid's nostrils were quite intense.
It is necessary to keep my informed.
Okay, we got a newspaper. Let's have a look at it. So yesterday at the Academy of Sciences, a sumptuous dinner was held for distinguished members of the British scientific community. The central figure of the festivities was astronomer D. Sullivan. This brilliant scientist shocked the world, colleagues, and even continental rivals with his discovery in upcoming and rare celestial alignment of 7 stars. Oh, celestial alignment, that's always bad news. Sullivan has calculated the event will occur in December, sometime within the next few weeks, and it's the 6th of September. We've got a few months, actually. In December, within the next few weeks, well, from September to December is months, not weeks. So, okay, we'll just frogwares. The unique conjunction, as it is called, will be barely visible to the human eye. Detailed observations will require special optical equipment. Only the Academy has it. Professor Sullivan noted that conditions must favour a proper viewing. The revelation that Fomalhaut, as it is called in ancient texts, might finally be observed had to be the cause of the audience's excited shouts, unless it was the presentation of dessert at the same moment. Very witty. Strange disappearance. Swedish princess Ida? Icke? I'm just going to scroll through it. I don't want to read the whole thing out loud just in case it's... Okay, but here, interesting, strange fish. A bargeman notified the River Watch about a strange jellyfish floating in the Thames. The watch searched the dark waters and to their shock spotted what appeared to be a human scalp. Upon closer inspection, it proved to be a wig, re-dyed in bright red. According to a label embroidered on the wig's scalp cap, it was the property of a well-known local theatrical company. The company is said to have fallen into a sad state. Its reputation is rapidly dwindling and its actors allegedly have taken to alcoholic beverages. We've all been there. Matthias Fernston died. He was a lighthouse. It doesn't say why. Okay. Interesting. Licorice? Okay, here's a joke. Let's enjoy that. A man enters a butcher shop. The proprietor, a man of declining years, is cutting away at a joint of beef. The customer is stunned to realize the butcher is missing several fingers on his left hand. The butcher, seeing the shocked look of his customer, says in a shaking voice, see you looking. I tell you, I was always like to put a bit of myself into the work. But with age, I'm a lot less handy. And at this point is where you press the button that makes the laugh soundtrack. Not the best joke. Okay, and there's been some thieves of stolen jewellery. Okay, so a little bit there in the newspaper. Not sure how much of it is relevant in the sense of will it actually tie into the plot as a whole. But let's have a chat to this guy.
I'm looking for the Barnes bookshop. Would you happen to know it?
I know the place, know it well, Mr. Holmes. The bookshop is on Glentworth Street. Take your first right and then the next left, and you'll find it straight away.
Okay, he knows my name. First right and then... Okay, so that was right. And then first left must be down here. I'm just wondering if any of these other buildings have any interesting things in them. Probably not. Let's just try. Let's buy a new hat. No, we can't even get there. Invisible wall. Okay. Can we talk to the flower saleswoman?
My respects, Miss Fleming.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Okay. Does she say something different?
My respects, Miss Fleming.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
No, she doesn't. She's a woman of few words.
My respects, Miss Fleming.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
Didn't click that time, but it seems like if you walk past her, it'll do it, even if you've said it 3 times. Okay, we're at the bookstore. Let's read this. Can we read this? What about this? Oh, I missed what he said because I clicked twice. That's a shame. I'll have to stop doing that. Let's see if we can come back in and see what it said. Actually... just out of interest. No, we've said it once to her, so we won't say it again. Okay, so we clicked here. No, we lost it. Okay. Do not multi-click.
Good morning, Mr. Holmes. How are you? I have some new novels that should interest you. A nice illustrated volume
My
of
favourite.
fish and a collection of legends on piracy. They must be here somewhere.
Can't wait to get that fish book.
What can I do for you, Mr. Holmes?
A book about sea fauna. Ah, the pirate's book.
Desperate pirates. And it is literally just a book, a novel. I'm not sure if I need to read that. Interesting. Might be handy to have this on file. Keep in mind, that's what the Spanish sardine looks like. Notice its distinctive scales, unlike the red porgy. Good. What else can we do here? Okay. Nothing here. Not sure if it's going to auto, like if I see something of interest, it's going to talk about it, or if it's just going to wait for me to click on it.
I will take them.
Thank you, and goodbye, Mr. Holmes.
Okay, so it's been pretty riveting so far. What have we done? What have we achieved? We've got a newspaper. We've found out about some Scandinavian princess that's gone missing. And we've sent a small urchin to go and find us info. And we have 2 books.
I have no reason to go there.
Okay, and now we've hit a wall. So let's go back the way we came. Okay, holding down shift gives us a run. Oh, what was that? Is that anything? No. Okay. Mouse wheel goes through our inventory. Good.
Holmes! Here!
Let's stab him. No, we can't. Where did that come from? Ah, there he is.
Ah, it's good that I found you, Holmes. As I told you this morning, I've visited Captain Stenick. Although his symptoms are not serious, the circumstances which caused his palpitations are quite peculiar. Perhaps you can make something of it.
Perhaps.
Here is Captain Stenick and Sergeant Ruffles.
Where? Oh, we're at his house. Ah, there they are. Okay, well that was a bit silly of him to announce them when they weren't even on screen. But hello. Hello? I've talked to him already.
Now then, Sergeant, what is it about, and what elements of the crime do you have documented?
Referring to the official report, the following particulars were taken down. A young Maori responding to the name Bayalpo was reported missing by his...
Sounds like someone turned his volume down.
No one in the surrounding area saw or heard anything relevant to this incident. In truth, we rarely concern ourselves with cases such as this, but the lad speaks not a single word of English, and according to his employer, has considerable strength. Considering the wild customs of his native land, who knows what damage he could cause.
It's a little bit racist of you, Sergeant, typecasting that individual in such a way.
Similar cases reported recently. The facts are much the same. Immigrants from the poor districts have been reported missing by their families. We expect that some low-class brothel has opened its doors to the local exotics.
More accusations and generalizations.
Mark my words, with his unique looks and speech, we'll find this boy in no time. I imagine he'll have nothing worse to show than empty pockets and a delighted air.
That is a possibility, to be sure. However, I would be most grateful if you could ask your superiors to send me the reports about those similar cases. I rely on you, Ruffles.
I wonder what he means by a delighted air. It's an interesting way of referring to an individual.
Captain, I understand from Watson you are quite upset.
Any man will be the same, and with less provocation. My servant is left in the middle of the night. Damned ungrateful after all I have done for him. To top it off, he knows not one word of English. Finally, if he causes any damage, I will bear the brunt of people's anger and suffer the consequences, as I am the person who brought him to England.
How long was he in your employment, and is he accustomed to vanishing in this manner?
We returned from Australia more than 5 months ago now. But to his credit, he never left this house before now. He is afraid of the city, as are many inhabitants from open spaces.
Could he have stolen
So,
something?
as an Australian,
Upon my word,
I'm I'm wondering if this game knows that Maoris are actually from New Zealand. And although we do have quite a few individuals from New Zealand in Australia, they are two actual separate countries.
What the deuce would he have a need for money?
Who knew that he worked at your home, and had he any contacts?
Maybe they didn't know, maybe they did, and just assumed no one would care.
Professionally knows Baopa is my personal servant. As for his contacts, they are limited to the delivery men who bring food or other items to my home. What reason could he have to see anyone other than myself?
Watson, continue your search here. I must follow another lead.
What do you make of this, Holmes?
Okay, so he just talks to us and doesn't actually expect an answer. So obviously, Cthulhu, Call of Cthulhu, that story is based on a lot of individuals. How do we put this in the nicest possible way? Because obviously, H.P. Lovecraft, his writings was a product of his time, but he was a racist. And he talked about native people, islanders and the like, who were worshipping Cthulhu. And so obviously that's where this story is going, but we'll see. Hello, who are you? You're staring at us. And I can't do anything.
I have no reason to go there.
Okay, so what am I supposed to be doing here? I have to follow another lead. Let's see. Okay, I just click on this and it just tells me. Are we supposed to go fishing, for instance? Probably not. There's only 3 places on the map we can go. I have a feeling we might have to go back home. Let's see.
I don't have enough information.
No.
I should return and investigate.
Okay, so what am I investigating? Do I go to these guys' house? Let's have a look. I'm glad I can hold down shift to go a bit faster. Perhaps I'm going and checking to see if there's any clues here. Okay, doesn't look like there's anything there. Aha, an axe. No.
The lock was not cracked.
What's this?
What a peculiar drawing.
Peculiar indeed.
What a peculiar...
Okay, and that's all he's going to say.
The lock was not...
Yep. What's this? What's this? We're detecting now. Oh, did I see footprints? I did.
Footsteps. Let's see.
Oh, this is exciting. Oh, approximately.
The size is undoubtedly 7. The shoes are also hard-soled.
What do we see here? Toothpicks. P.
The right shoe is missing a nail.
Oh. A lot of clues here. That might be it, actually.
Footsteps.
Maybe not. Let's measure the other footstep.
The size is undoubtedly 7.
Okay. What about this one? That's the same one. Okay. Feeling very Sherlock Holmesy. Look at me go. Oop. There's something there. Okay, so just clicking randomly is not a great thing in this game. So let's see what it was that we picked up. Fish scale. Ooh, remember? Do you remember what I remember? The Book of Fish. Let's consult the Book of Fish. Could be a silver sea trout. Let's have a look. What do you think that looks like to you? That's got a silvery with a bit of red. I reckon it might be a lane snapper. Oh, I feel like... What? Detective. They'll be celebrating when I crack the case, now that I know what fish it is. Okay. Now we can go and tell them our findings. Well, we found a fish.
What do you make of this, Holmes?
Funny you should
What do
ask.
you make of this, Holmes?
Have you found anything, Mr. Holmes?
Suit yourself, Mr. Holmes, but it seems to me you're just wasting valuable time.
Okay, so yeah, of course the police know everything.
In my professional view of the case, this lad went on a spree and will pop up wiser if poorer in pocket.
Okay, so the policeman knows nothing. Let's just have a look. Did we miss anything? We saw footsteps going to the fence. Maybe there was something on the fence we had to click. Okay. They're not celebrating my discoveries just yet, so there must be something else. And for some reason the keyboard commands have now inverted themselves. Great. Okay, we're back. What about up there? Did you climb that? Probably not.
Yes, there is something here.
Okay, what? What? Bad textures?
Yes, there is something.
Ah. Oh, what's that?
Yes, there is. Yes, there.
Can I use this? Maybe I use the knife.
Yes, there is.
To the manual. Oh. Maybe I shouldn't have pressed Alt Tab. Oh, okay. I just want to check if there was a action space. Okay.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Okay, now I'm getting... That's what happens when you Alt Tab. Let's save the game.
Yes, there is.
Okay, yes, there is something here. Can we set it on fire?
Yes, there is. Yes, there is some. Yes, there is.
Okay, so it doesn't look like there's anything there. It does say yes, there's something there. Okay. Let's save the game. Well, we did save the game. We'll just have a quick look. I just want to see if there was anything in regards to... Oh, I pressed the wrong one. Oh, well, that's okay. Let's see if we can work it out now that we won't have that incessant clicking noise. Okay. Let's see. Was there anything down here that I missed out? No? No? Okay. So definitely here.
Yes, there is. Yes, there is. Yes, there is.
Okay, there's something here. So does that mean I have to go behind here, maybe? Or maybe I need Watson to give me a Boost. That might be something worth investigating. Can you give me a boost, Watson?
What do you make of this?
Okay. That doesn't seem like that's an option. I would have appreciated that if he could have given me a boost. Okay, nothing here. Okay, let's go down the alley. Okay. I mean, there wouldn't be this, surely, if there wasn't anything to do here.
No reason to go there.
Of course.
This should prove useful.
Okay. That will be useful. We don't need a boost if we've got a ladder. Too bad, Watson. You had the chance to impress me, but you blew it. You'll always be a assistant. Ah, look at that. Ah. A twig.
Fibers. Why are they here? It will be necessary for me to examine this more closely at Baker Street.
Okay. Good one. Let's leave the ladder there. Maybe Watson will climb over it and see his folly. Okay, so we got to go back to Baker Street. We won't mention that to Watson. He's annoyed me already. Might be time for a new assistant, I think. Maybe that boy. He did have ridiculously sized nostrils, but he might be useful.
Enough information. I should return and investigate further.
You just said you had to go back to Baker Street. Okay. Maybe I have to talk to Watson after all. What do you think of these fibers, Watson?
What do you make of this, Holmes?
Suit yourself, Mr. Holmes.
Okay, he's just going to say the same thing again.
Have you found anything, Mr. Holmes?
Yes, I have. Okay, so there must be something else there. There's a bush.
What a peculiar...
That's something? Okay. I don't know about you, but I'm gonna say it doesn't look like there's anything I can click on and everything looks the same. But let's use a magnifying glass. Okay.
This appears to contain some measure of opium.
Opium, you say? Now we're talking. Okay. Good. We're detecting again. We're back on the trail. Thought it had gone cold there for a moment, but now they don't call us the greatest detective for nothing. Okay. Let's just make sure. Okay, that ladder is no longer usable. That isn't... Okay. So it looks like when we find what we find, and we've found everything we need, it will no longer be accessible. So the ladder, we no longer need it. We can't click on it any further. That's a good touch. And...
I don't have enough information.
Of course. How about I look at this fire hydrant? Nope. Okay. There's the ladder. Maybe there's... look at this. Footsteps. Footsteps in the...
I have no reason to...
Reminds me, baby, of Sherlock. Okay, the footsteps are clearly going there, but he has no reason to go there. Okay. Good one. Okay, anything here? Let's set it on fire then.
I have no reason to go there. I have no reason...
Dude, the footsteps are just here. Why would you say you have no reason to go there when that's clearly where he came from? Anything here? No. Okay. Maybe I do have to speak to the Watson and Co. again. Or there's something still in.
What do you make of
Yeah, there's something still there. How about these flowers? They look quite interesting. I think the trail has gone cold. But we'll pick it up again. Look at that. Nothing.
The lock was not cracked. The lock. What a
Okay. Can't look at that anymore. Anything here? Oh, what's that? No. Oh. Did I? I did.
flaxen, yellow in color.
Okay, so keep on the lookout for everything. Although at this point in time, I wouldn't mind using this knife on something. Okay. And I wonder as well if the order in which you do things is important. Like, I think I've found everything in this really connected. How is that? Poorly built. But I wonder if you have to find everything before something else will become unveiled.
The lock was not cracked.
Okay. That hasn't changed. Anything here? Anything here? Where's that hole going? Okay. Ah, I found everything.
Come, Watson, we must return to Baker Street.
What do you make of this, Mr. Holmes?
Mr. Stenick, I wish my news were your servant simply left your employment voluntarily for the service of a more honest man. Unfortunately, I don't have that pleasure. In truth, the news is grim indeed. Your servant was seen in the company of 2 men yesterday.
Well, we got all that from a few bits of...
One of the 2 is a man of moderate
of
size,
course, the
very
shoes.
robust and a mature age. His profession, which will be the key element in our investigation of this affair, will be determined by me within few hours. The other is a young Hindi who is tall and only recently arrived in England. There is a darker side to these events. Your man was not with them by choice. Rather, the evidence shows he was kidnapped. At this moment, the reasons behind this villainous act are unknown. But rest assured, the truth will not elude me for long. Gentlemen, I wish you a good day. Come, Watson, we must hurry. There's a great deal to do and little enough time to spare.
Holmes, I must protest. You did not spare my client, Captain Stenick. This seems unusually harsh.
That may be, Watson, but now what matters more is to know the reasons behind the kidnapping of this young Aboriginal yesterday evening in Central
Okay, so
London.
again,
And
an
more
Aboriginal
importantly, what's
is
become of him.
someone native to Australia. That's one of the terms used.
Concentrate on the small
But he's not a Maori,
test my theories. Please go to the
as
Port
was
Lovelock
described
Bar
before,
and
because
surmise
Maoris
that
are the
there's
native
something on the
of New
Maori
Zealand.
nation and its
But now
traditions.
we're talking about Maoris again, so we're...
See the newsboy outside. Find out what
I'm
he
getting
says,
confused.
And if it has value, give him a coin. And for God's sake, don't be a miser, Watson.
A miser? You cost me one of my patients and you question my level of generosity with your informers? Oh, really, Holmes? Sometimes you go too far.
Okay, so... We've cracked the case? No, we've just discovered a few little items of information. What will we do now? Don't rightly know. So let's have a look. Can we go
I
here?
have no reason to go
Okay.
there.
If in doubt, let's look at our inventory and the like. Okay. I must concentrate on a small experiment I will run. Okay, so we need to go into our inventory. So let's use the flax. No, okay. Okay.
I shall have to examine this more.
Look at that. Interesting. Let's use that. Okay. I guess we better cut it. Ooh.
The meatball ignited but failed to burn completely. There are, without a doubt, mustard seeds present, probably in exotic form. What could be the other components, I wonder?
Okay, so I'm a little confused here. We were told that this was opium. Now we're told it's a meatball. Obviously, that's a name of opium in a ball? I don't know. I can't cut it any further. And I can't cut it and poke it any further. So let's get out of that. And let's
now
put...
it can't be used for anything.
Oh, well, that's a shame.
Now it can't be...
Okay.
Nothing.
Okay, I'm not sure what I'm doing here.
Now it can't be...
Okay, I've got some solvent.
Nothing.
Okay.
Nothing.
Ah, okay.
Nothing.
Okay. What about spirit?
Nothing. Now it can't be used for anything.
Okay. How about we put some...
Now it can't be...
No?
Very interesting.
You're telling me.
Nothing.
Okay. Oh, look at this.
According to this monograph, the fish scale appears to be from a perch, a saltwater fish with high commercial and culinary value.
Is that what we said? A perch? Can't remember, to be fair. Oh, look at this. We might have to relive that moment. Can I cut it?
Nothing.
Maybe we put it under here.
Let's see if I can obtain a reaction with the help of my chemicals and apparatus.
Okay. I have no idea what I'm doing. But I mean, it looks good. Nothing. It's quite the complicated machine.
This is evidently coal soot mixed with water, and given the absence of any salt particulates, it must be fresh water.
Is that good? Have I...
Let's see if I can obtain a reaction with the help of my chemicals and apparatus.
Okay.
Now it can't be used.
No. We'll put some acid on it.
Perhaps if I apply heat?
Oh, perhaps. How do I do that? Oh, matches. We're quite the chemist. Again, the machine does its spinny thing. I'm quite entranced by this. Not only are we a master detective, we're also a master chemist. Look at this.
Incredible. I note a strong presence of opium blended with a concentrate of morphine. The remaining elements are a mystery to me.
Incredible.
I should look through the window and see where Watson is.
Okay, so the game's fairly handholdy. It's only one way of doing things, and it basically tells you what to do next. Maybe that's just because we're in the opening sections here. I just realized I'm playing as Watson.
There's a good lad. How does it go?
Hello, sir.
My
Hello,
associate,
sir.
Sherlock Holmes, said you might have information for him about... now, what was it?
The Princess Gov. He was looking for the scuttlebutt on this here princess what we visiting. Exciting goings on. Her bodyguard went missing the first morning after she got here. Nice job to look after a princess's body, innit, sir? They say he went out on a tan having a go with the ladies, if you get my meaning.
Wink, wink.
Like as not, he was trapped by some gang of toughs. Otherwise, who'd get the best of him? A proper giant he was by all accounts. Do I get me coins then, sir? Oh, thank you, sir. Obliged, I'm sure.
Those nostrils. Okay, so we found out some information. This horse hasn't moved from this spot, neither has this guy. I don't think he's got a very good business by the sounds of things. He's not making any money. Do we go back now? Yes. Yes, we do. And let's tell Sherlock all about what we've done. Sherlock's still doing his experiments.
Please, Watson, leave me to my thoughts. I must concentrate.
You asked us to go and find some information. We come back and you're like, get out. I can see why Watson is having nightmares. Okay, so we can't go in there. Looks like we're going for a walk. Or at least asleep. Okay, maybe not. Won't have another nightmare. Okay, so he doesn't have any inventory. But what did... Okay. Please go and ask Paul Lovelorn Barnes and ask him if he has something on the Maori nation and its traditions. So again, Maori, Aboriginal, I don't want to keep harping on about it, but two separate countries. Two separate peoples. Let's go and talk to Barnes. We went the wrong way. It's this way. And let's see what book he has for us.
Good morning. Has your sprain improved?
Good morning, Dr. Watson. It is slowly showing improvement. What can I do for you?
Did I miss about the
Would
sprain?
you
But
happen to have a
obviously
book
it's not a
on the
key plot
Maoris?
point.
If I have one available, it would be on that bottom shelf. Although, I'm not sure if I still have that particular book.
Please don't trouble yourself. I will look for it.
Okay, did he say this particular shelf? I couldn't exactly see where he was pointing. I mean, that looks like an elephant, so that's not a book on Maoris. Oh, there we go.
Good day.
Goodbye, Doctor.
He's not even going to pay for it. He's just going to say good day. Like, I'm stealing your book and I'm leaving. Ciao. Maybe we should have a look at the book. People at the Earth's End. Okay. Here's something interesting. When a Maori has a particularly notable dream with prophetic or moral value, he draws important moments of his dream in a symbolic fashion on the soil. That's what we saw in that little hut. Quite rare. If the apocalypse must happen, maybe they're going to draw this. Interesting. End of the world, you say? Oh, look, there's someone going for a ride. But this guy's still here. Dude, you're losing money. Why aren't you out there getting customers? Ugh, it's very painful.
The Strand! The Strand! By the Strand!
Yeah, yeah. Okay, so hopefully Sherlock's happy to see me now. Got his book. He's done his experiment. I mean, I was finished with the experiment when I looked out the window, but look at him looking at me so smugly.
Congratulate me, Holmes. I have just come from Barnes, met that street urchin of yours, the newsboy. Then, on my way here, I had the most extraordinary idea.
Not now, Watson. Although I'm sure this bit of news is most significant, it must wait. We are piecing together a singular affair. This abduction story is much more complex than it appears. As I noted before, our next move is to locate the place of employment for one of the villains who abducted the young Maori. What part of London would such a man call home?
Probably a dodgy area.
Your intentions are good, my dear Watson, but you have missed everything of importance.
What am I doing? Oh, I've got to type in something. A dodgy.
Your intentions are good, my dear Watson, but you have missed everything of importance.
Okay, docks?
Yes, Watson, there is little room for doubt. Our man is
Because
a
of the
bargeman
fish
who works at the Thames River
and
wharfs.
clean
He
water.
is more precisely employed to transport and handle fish brought in by various ships. Our next step is obvious. We must find a cab and make haste to the Thames near the warehouses.
Here I have been complaining all this time about that cab out the front not going anywhere, when it's clearly that he is just for Sherlock and Watson. He's literally their chauffeur. Okay, I take it all back. Just delete all that section of my just unfortunate commentary. The horse doesn't... So it must be this guy. Hello. In we go.
Good day, Mr. Holmes.
And to the docks we go.
Let's go.
It was very exciting. It's very foreboding music.
Holmes? Brr, it's rather sinister here, and so cold.
Precisely, Watson. Ah, good. Here's a pub. We can warm ourselves inside.
Excellent, Holmes.
Fancy a pint? First we'll have a look at this textured floor. Okay. The Cursed Mermaid. Not foreboding at all. No foreshadowing here. No? Okay. Let's talk to these fishmen. Innocent people.
Good day to you, sir. Could you serve up 2 of your best pints and some information, if you please?
My pleasure, sir. What can I do for you?
My friend and I are looking for a man who works one of the fishing boats at the docks. The name of the ship escapes me, but I do know for certain fact it has a coal-fed boiler.
In truth, there are dozens of such boats that lay anchor here every day. What can you tell me about the look of him?
Only that he is a robust man about this size, wearing iron soles.
Little help there. You've just described half of my customers. I have nothing for you. Here now, look for a man called Harper. He lives in a house not far from here, after the bridge near the warehouses. You can't go wrong finding his place. It has a large anchor painted on it.
Either way, I am in your debt. Please tell me, for curiosity's sake, what troubles your friend?
He's been waiting ever so long for a new wooden
Ah,
hand.
of course.
It was to be here yesterday, but still no sign of it. He is quite low and has taken to the drink.
The devil! Last night a nasty flea woke me, and me with only the hook on me scratching hand. And she worries imagine last summer I had worms.
He had worms. How did he get him out? With his hook.
Asked Worms is what it was. A sudden attack in the middle of the night. Again with only the one hand.
That's
and
exactly
a
what
blasted hook on the other.
He tried to deworm himself with a hook. Oh my word.
Lord, I was unable to so much as sit for 3 weeks.
Nice bit of comedy.
Well, gentlemen, again, thank you.
Time
Have a
to
nice
just
day.
slowly back away. Walk out. I do appreciate that this guy said, I have nothing for you. But go to this location and speak to this guy and he'll have everything for you. Thanks, game. Obviously this guy is very English, not only because of the English flag there with the word England on it, the St. George's Cross, but also the cricket bat and the cricket ball mysteriously levitating on the back shelf and a poster with the word cricket on it. Just to let you know, cricket bat, cricket ball, cricket. It also just interestingly fades in and out of... Oh, there it is. And what's this? Cursed Mermaid Pub. Beer, good, and good food. Beer, good beer? Good beer, good food? Maybe. Okay. It doesn't look like we've got anything else to do
Excuse
here.
me, sir. Could you
scratch?
I'm in no mind to talk. Leave me to my drink.
Okay. So let's have a look at... Oh, there's some more fading in and out of...
I have no reason to go there.
Later on, perhaps. Anyone for darts? Okay, so we're looking for a room with an anchor on it. I think that's what he said. Okay. So obviously we're going to hit some invisible walls. But until then, let's go for a little stroll. Customs. Oh, something seems to be going on in there. Oh, she looks a bit sad. What was that green thing in the ceiling? Okay, I guess we won't be able to tell.
Closed tight.
It's a shame. I was looking forward to speaking to those people about their woes. Okay, that might be useful later. There's a big anchor. No, that's not an anchor, that's a wheel. Is that what we were told to look for? I can't remember. And then again, I just keep realizing after the bridge near the warehouses, you can't go wrong. It has a large anchor painted on it. Okay. Very dark and mysterious down here. Not an anchor. No anchor. No anchor. Can't go that way. Okay, so this is... interesting. The rough kind of outline of the level. And I've probably come to a dead end. So let's go back. Just said after the bridges, you can't go wrong. It's got a big anchor on it. Okay, this doesn't look like the right spot. But I can go this way. There's actually quite a bit to this level, or at least this area. Still got my knife out, just in case some kind of vicious creature tries to get me. Oh, a boat. Look at that. There's the house with things phasing in and out that I can't get into. And there's a large anchor. So I was almost at the right spot. I was...
No one is here.
Okay, maybe not. No, there's no house. Watson, stop looking at me like a weirdo. That little boy was looking out the window at me, wasn't he? Okay, now I can go in. Everyone in this game looks slightly fearsome and fearful. They're all quite a little bit off. Okay.
Excuse me for disturbing you, but I'm looking for a man named Mr. Harper.
Ah,
Do you
this
know
is a
him?
Hindi
He
house.
lives
You
just
can see by
opposite
the
you.
He gone. Boat.
shrine there.
Boat.
Watson, I know this accent.
Ah,
These
Nepalese.
people are Nepalese, and as luck would have it, I am familiar with this dialect.
Of course.
Nepalese? Holmes, are you sure?
Aho Nitra, Shigong Senitra.
I love the subtitle. Nepalese.
This woman says her family has suffered a grave misfortune. This altar is for her son, a lad of 16, who disappeared just 1 week ago.
Could he have run away to sea or some other youthful adventure?
Il koga bratsein, but presindra ku.
Nep.
She said a man was seen in the area making inquiries about her son and their family. The man worked at the docks and had a silver eye. Yes, exactly. He was a vile man with one silver eye.
Why do they jump to he had a silver eye, he's vile? Surely there are some silver-eyed men that are fine. Not all of them are
She
vile.
also says her son's belongings are on this altar. She says we may examine them and take anything that might help find her son.
Okay.
What does this have to do with Captain Stennick's servant?
Watson, you're always a bit behind, aren't you?
This is not Nepali. It looks like silver, but judging by the weight, it's a fake.
We're just going to steal this woman's, all her possessions, aren't we? Like, see that pelican medallion? It's mine now. Okay, I can't get any of that. Now, what about that? No, okay. Okay, she's talking Nepalese again? No.
What do you make of...
Is that all he's going to say? Can we talk to him in Nepalese? No. Okay, nothing there. What's that? No. Okay, so we just stole her fake silver pelican, and we're going to go. Cool.
No one is here.
So we must have to show that to someone. I guess that will be the next step. Let's show it to Hookman. So when you click and there isn't anything, it'll just kind of do a little juddery movement, as if and kind of recenter the camera. So when you see that, that's what's happening. Okay, back to the pub, I guess. Have you seen this?
Hello to you again, sir. I won't waste time. We have discovered new details that may lead us to this elusive seaman. Most significantly, the man has a missing eye and wears a silver ball in its place.
Silver ball.
God, that can be no other than Dirty Summers, a nasty brute that.
A vile,
Where
dirty
could one
brute.
find him?
He must have signed on with a ship because he was here last night looking to hire some men.
How did he behave while he was here?
He gave me extra to secure the private table behind that curtain. During his time here, men of all sorts came and went seeking positions. However, He seemed nervous and fearful as his knife was unsheathed and ready the whole
Well,
of the night.
let's be honest, my knife's been unsheathed for most of the game too.
Certainly, if it will help.
Okay. Just wondering if this is one of those singing fish. Like you turn it on and it will just start singing to you and talking. Kind of got that feel to it. Just actually... where is my fish book? I don't have my fish book anymore. I guess it's pointless, but I did want to look and see what that fish was, but I guess I'll never know. Okay. We got some...
These cuts seem quite recent. There are 4 symbols.
You know what those cuts are?
These cuts seem quite recent. There are 4 symbols.
Okay, so that was pretty much it. Just looking. Doesn't look like there's anything else in here.
What do you make
Yeah,
of this, Holmes?
you have nothing to add. Like you're literally... Oh, I can't even escape. So there must be something else to do. Maybe? Okay, I'll close the curtain on him. It's probably a good thing, to be honest.
Have you found anything of importance, sir?
Excuse me, sir. Could you...
I'm in no mind to talk. Leave me to my drink.
Okay. Must be something else in there that I've missed. Yeah. No?
These...
Okay, so there's nothing else I can do. Unless there's something on the back of these curtains. Oop.
What do you make of this, Holmes?
These cuts seem quite recent. There are 4 symbols.
Have you found anything of importance, sir?
Okay, so it doesn't look like there's... I mean, I've said that before. Is there anything on the floor? So I can't get any further on here. I feel like there's like a pixel I'm missing somewhere. But I can't kind of work out where it is.
These cuts seem quite recent. There are 4 symbols.
Okay, so am I supposed to do anything here? No, there's nothing I can do. I mean, try it with a knife. No. I feel like it would be a good place to have a kind of sound effect. Look, when you see something. Anything up here? Did get trapped on one of those before. Where there was a small little piece of lint. Okay. Well, let's maybe try leaving and see if that gets us anywhere. Okay, we can. Okay, nothing there. Perhaps there's something outside. Oh, water looks a bit weird. A bit pixelated. Okay, maybe the outside? No, I can't go. Do I have to open the curtain and then look? No, it's not actually in the right spot. Okay. Nothing there. Is there a person? No, I was just imagining things. Okay, and I can't look through here either. What about, did he drop something down here? That boat's not going anywhere. Never is. Okay. So we're probably trying to find something in this room. So I can't move any further. And there doesn't seem to be anything on these walls. On these chairs. And Watson just continues to stand there. Well, that's interesting. Anything here?
I have no reason to get...
Have you found anything of importance, sir?
I wish I had. And that line seems to indicate that whatever I'm looking for is still here. Okay. Well, it's been quite interesting. So far I'm enjoying this game. But it might be a good time to end the stream here. We finished Spider-Man. We finally got through the end of that horrible mission, which wasn't so horrible once I used the controller and sped the game up to the normal running speed. As I say, Spider-Man a little bit difficult in the sense of the PC port, just because of its programming. Now we're playing Sherlock Holmes The Awakened, the 2007 version. It was remastered in 2023. Got that on Steam, but I'm playing this one originally from a DVD and enjoying it so far. Interesting. Not too difficult. Good for a novice detective such as myself. But I hope you enjoyed that stream, and I look forward to the next time playing this game. But until then, thanks very much for watching. We might just see if we can raid out to someone. Let's have a look who's out there. Icrius is playing Mario Kart World. Naked Krauser is playing Doom. And we might go over to Naked Krauser and say hi. Thanks again for watching if you're watching this live or if you're on the VOD. And I very much appreciate you tuning in. I hope you enjoy the rest of your day, afternoon, evening, night, and coming up soon weekend as well. Inconsiderate Deed signing off.